Imagine a scenario where you have a colleague who constantly stays silent during team meetings, doesn't offer any perspective, doesn't chime in, doesn't have any ideas ever. How do you encourage them to speak up? Hi, I'm Elizabeth Ajadi, here with the What Elizabeth Do scenario. And I want to preface this with listening is active participation. Sometimes we confuse listening and observing as actively disengaged. However, that is not true. Here's the deal. Obviously, you want to get everybody's perspective. You want to make sure everybody's idea is heard. So in order to encourage this team member to actively participate, I would call on them and put them on the spot to say, hey, I would like to hear what you think about this, or do you have any ideas? Call on them specifically. Perhaps they're shy or introverted and then they don't know how to jump in, because I also struggle with that, where sometimes I don't know when to jump in and I don't want to interrupt somebody's train of thought. And so I just let it go, and then that moment is gone, and then we've moved on to another topic. So I think the onus is on the facilitator of that meeting to ensure that everybody is heard. Now, if this person is just always quiet and never participate or contribute, which it sounds like, we can have then a sidebar conversation with them outside of the group to get to the bottom of it and understand why they don't participate and if they struggle with anything in particular. If after you have a one-on-one conversation with them and they still do not participate, then you know you have bigger problems on your hands. Now, it might not be such a big deal to you. It's not, in the general context of it all, it's not such a bad thing to have somebody who's quiet and doesn't like to contribute. But if you work in the group setting where you need everybody's point of view, everybody's vote count, it's imperative that we try to nurture that in that person, or maybe that person is not in the right role or on the right team. So, several ways to look at it. First of all, again, going back to what I said at the beginning, don't confuse active listening with being disengaged. That's my perspective on this. Let me know what you think in the comments. See you on the next one with Elizabeth too. Bye.